Guys, it's me, Lindsay, and I was looking through my old scrapbook, like my art scrapbook of all my old art, and I thought, hey, I should totally make a video about this. And I know I haven't uploaded in who knows how long, but I just thought I would try it out. So this is old art. There's no telling from what year it actually came from unless I actually dated it. And so this was my OC Ilya. And then this was a little message I did for myself back when I was in 2012. I had probably been drawing for like a year. It was like, you can't assume to be an amazing artist in 2 days. It takes work. And I am a sassy little spunk, so yeah. There is Lucy from Fairy Tale. And this was a little drawing I did, and I really liked it. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to put it in here. And at my church, I actually did a talent show, and the youth pastor there asked me if I would like to come and show some of my art. And I did, and it was really cool. And so his wife made this to stick on my board, and I was like, hey, I'm going to keep it and put it in my art journal. So this is a picture I did while I was in church. Sometimes I listen to sermons better when I'm actually sketching and can off-switch taking notes. You tend to kind of understand it a little better when your mind's working on something else. This was another picture I did. And those were probably a year or two apart because I was just starting to work with colors. And then here is a Sailor Moon, a quick Sailor Moon I did in ballpoint, again, at church. You can kind of tell by the paper. So, yeah. Here is another drawing that I did. And, gosh, I can't remember when I did that. But this was a picture I did for Mark Crilly, who was like my icon. I loved him so much. I learned so much from him. And so, yeah, I did that and was like, thank you, Mark Crilly, for being awesome. This is my character, Ilya. She looked a little different from the first picture that I did. So, yeah, I just love her hair. And there she is, kind of in color, that peach hair and gray eyes. And here's something I did for my mother's birthday. It was, Mickey and Minnie card, but it was in, I did charcoal. It was back when I was like, or pastels, sorry. And it will shed, or, come off. And so I was like, well, you know what, I'll take it and put it in my art book. And, she has a picture of it up on her desk. So yeah. And then here is a little Roxas I did in red ballpoint pen. And, I just think he is just so cute. He just looks so scared for life. Here is a female Minnie Mouse I did, and it's on like a placeholder, and yeah, I was just like, I'm gonna keep it and cut it up and save it. And so here's a little fairy I did, and again, it kind of sucks. I never really wrote down dates on stuff that I wasn't insanely proud of. Here's Ilya again with the peach hair and gray eyes, and I really liked that one. This was supposed to be a self-portrait of me. I looked nothing like that, but yeah. And here's a sad little picture of a girl in the rain, and I could not do puddles. So yeah, couldn't do anything in that picture. Here is, gosh, I cannot remember her name. But she's from Blue Exorcist, and which was kind of sad that I can't remember her name because she was one of my favorite characters. But I did that in 2014, so yeah. Here's another picture of me. It was one of my favorite outfits I had back then. I'm thinking this might have been in 2014. Yeah. And then the nickname for me is Baby Bear. All my friends call me Baby Bear, and my parents, Mama Bear and Papa Bear. So I'd done a little sketch of Baby Bear. And my favorite manga that really actually got me into Japanese manga was Amazing Agent Luna. And I was so proud of myself when I drew that. was able to get like the highlights and just definition. And then I did a little sketch from the manga, and I was pretty proud of that one too. Here's another Lucy from Fairy Tail. I was obsessed with Fairy Tail for quite a while. I did, oh gosh, so many sketches, so much Fairy Tail. This is actually Taeyeon from Girls' Generation, or in her solo career. This was much more recent, yeah, 2016, so it was about 2 years ago. So yeah, I was very proud of that when I first started it. This was just a drawing I did, and I added a Bible verse to it. And it's one of my favorites. This was actually Mojo Jojo's picture from Twitter. It's Ruby and Zwei for Thanksgiving. I was at a church event and with some older people from my church, and they loved to watch me draw. And I was like, I can't really think of anything to draw. So when this notification popped up that she had posted, I was like, hey, I'll just sketch this, and they won't know that it was, you know, something a little different. And so, yeah. And then there's me again. I was actually dipping white pretzels with my family and my boyfriend, and I was like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna do a little doodle to remember doing that. And so yeah, that's supposed to be a pretzel in my mouth. And there is a picture, it was Mark Crilly. I think it was How to Draw a Girl with a Scarf or something. I'm not really sure which one it was. I did that in 2013, so yeah. This was my sad excuse of watercolors. I'm also obsessed with Naminé. She will always probably be one of my favorite characters in Kingdom Hearts. And I also did a Shion. There she is right there. These are probably older, 2013 maybe. I ship Naminé and Riku. Hashtag don't hate me. So yeah, I'm a huge Namaku fan. And yeah, I was like, hey, I'm gonna do this. So yeah, and then I did a Yuna. This was in 2012, and I was so proud of myself about how more realistic it kind of looked. Now I know that I could probably do better, but yeah. There is another picture. I don't really remember what that was supposed to be about, but yeah. This was one of my first drawings that I ever did, and it was from a How to Draw manga, and yeah, it was... Oh my gosh, I was so proud of that when it first started. And yeah, my style has definitely changed since then. This is Pyrrha that I did after the end of Season 3, or Volume 3. And you will know why I drew her if you've watched that. I'm not going to spoil it in case you haven't watched it. But yeah, she is one of my favorite characters, and I just love her so much, so much. And in the finished picture, I actually drew Jean behind her, and so that was really cool. This was one of my favorite pictures I did back when I first started drawing, and I always know when it's one of my first starting drawing pictures was when I only did my initials. I didn't sign my name. And then here's another picture that I did years later. I was like, hey, that's cute, I'll put that in there. There's another picture I did. It was supposed to be a self-portrait. Just me with my hair up. I was obsessed with crayons for a little bit, and that was a crayon picture I did. And it was supposed to be Ilya, my OC. And yeah, I couldn't do the peach hair, so I was like, I'm going to do crazy hair, purple hair. There's a Jack Frost, and I only had like a certain number of pencils. So like for the skin, I literally just tried to mix yellows, reds, browns, and try to get it as close to a skin color as I could. Same goes for this one, and I was super proud of myself for that hair. I loved it. Let's see. Here's another picture. She's kind of got the aerial bangs going on. I remember really liking that picture because I was working on hair at that time. You can obviously see the difference with this new picture. I was actually eating in Bojangles one day and was like, I'm going to sit here and sketch. So yeah, there's a big difference. Like I always say, progression, not perfection. Just keep practicing. It will get better. Okay, here's a little girl at the beach, chilling, wearing a bikini and an awesome hat. So yeah. And here is Cinder. That was another church sketch. So yeah, she looks really cool. I liked, I only did ink pens for that. That was an ink pen drawing, and I was very impressed at myself for that. Here is an aqua that I did, and I actually colored it with my Copics. Yeah, I really loved how that one turned out. I was like, I'm going to put the sketch in here, and of course I had to rip it. You know me. There's a Kyrie I did. There's no telling how long ago that was. Here is another picture of me at Christmas, of course, with something else in my mouth because I love to eat. Yeah, my little Mickey Mouse slippers, and I had a gingerbread man in my mouth. So yeah. This is actually a redraw of this. And that was definitely one of my first pictures. 2013, that was probably the first picture I did with my Spectrum Noirs and my Copics. And I was going to redraw it and recolor it, and I didn't like how that turned out. So I'm hoping one day I'll draw it again and see if I can get it better next time. Let's see. This is a picture that Pencil Butter actually drew on YouTube, and she drew it on a sketchbook, and I wanted it so badly, but I couldn't afford it at the time, and by the time I could afford it, somebody had already bought it. So I was like, you know what, I will do my own sketch. It wasn't to sell, it wasn't to do anything with, it was just kind of my own personal thing, just because I loved it so much. So yeah. I never colored it in because I didn't want to be like, oh, look at this, and people go, oh, wow, it's your original stuff, and nope, no, it's not. So taking somebody else's work and trying to say that it's yours is so not cool. So not cool. Okay, I think we are reaching the end. This is a picture I did for my little nieces. And they got to pick out what they wanted to be colored in. I did a Copic picture, and then I did an outline picture and copied it and printed it so that they could color their own in. So yeah, they really enjoyed that. This is an older picture of Asuna I did, and I was never really insanely proud of it. It was just something that I did one night. This was a picture of Female Italy that I did one day, and wasn't insanely proud of it, but I just had nowhere else to stick it, so I stuck it in here. Same with this. This is kind of like the rejects. So yeah, let's see, is there anything on here? Ah, yes, there is. It is a little Halloween girl. So yeah, that was my sketchbook, or my sketchbook scrapbook. Oh Lord. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope I showed you that progression, you'll never really have perfection. You'll always want to change something. You'll always want to be better at something. And yeah, if you're wondering where I got this little scrapbook thing, I got it at Tuesday mornings, and I've never really seen anything like it since. So yeah, anyway. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to be able to do more one day. Stay active, have fun, be creative, be yourself, and never give up. Bye, guys.